Well, hello. My name is GAT and welcome back to Caffeine, Victoria's Legacy. Last time we were making those puns with Alice, and now we're here, trying to chill with Eliza. Now, before we get started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit the bell notification. Alrighty, let's get going. As I walk into the room, I see Eliza standing there, stuffing a chocolate bar in her tiny mouth.
Nom 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 nom.
That's so adorable, what the fuck?
Taka!
... Where did she go? She was just here a moment ago. Was she really here in this room? Was I hallucinating? Just as I start to seriously doubt my sanity, Eliza popped up in front of me from out of nowhere. She had apparently cleaned her mouth.
Good morning, Taka. I'm so glad you came. But next time, you should knock before you come in. What you just witnessed was so embarrassing for me.
All you did was eat a chocolate. I don't know what's embarrassing about that.
You will not let anyone know what I was up to.
Dude, it's like if she was like snorting crack or something, like, oh yeah, the chocolate here, it's drugs. The fuck? What were you up to? What were you up to? You mean eating chocolate? Nothing to be embarrassed about.
It is embarrassing how I ate my chocolate.
Let's see. Can I have some chocolate as well? Yeah, let's get some food. Free food, man. Can I have some of your chocolate as well?
Certainly. Here, you can have the whole bar.
Ooh. I take the whole bar of chocolate and start munching on it. Yum, 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 man. This is really good. This is so bitter. Is this 100% chocolate? Tastes like Chinese medicine. I can't stand it anymore.
Are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine. This chocolate is really raw. So natural. No sweeteners at all.
Yes, it is pure natural cocoa from the Mayan highlands.
Is it really cocoa? I thought it was cacao. I don't know.
Oh no! You made such a mess. Your whole mouth is covered in chocolate now.
Yes, it's embarrassing. We've now both embarrassed ourselves.
Oh! Did you eat the chocolate just to embarrass yourself? Just to make me feel better?
No, I'm a complete dumbass.
You are so funny, Taka. But thank you. Now I don't feel as embarrassed as before.
I need water. I just saw you disappear in front of me. Was that caffeine? Motherfuckers. I hate this so much where it's like, there's some lines where it's like, oh, we speak, and there's some lines that we don't. Alright, let me just flex my voice acting skills. Oh yes, I teleported myself to the bathroom. That's really convenient. You can just teleport yourself every time you need to go to the bathroom? Actually, I usually walk to the bathroom, but I was just too embarrassed to walk past you with a mouthful of chocolate. Why were you eating raw chocolate? It's so bitter. The chocolate isn't for enjoyment. It's to improve my senses. I'm not gonna call it cocoa. Cacao is one of the most common flavors in medium to dark roasted coffee beans. Identifying the natural bitterness is a prerequisite to perform teleportation. The more sensitive your taste buds are to cacao flavors, notes, the farther away you can teleport yourself. That sounds so cool. Is that why you're eating the bar of chocolate to identify the different tastes? Yes, that's right. If you don't know how... Yeah, that's right. If you don't know how chocolate from the Mayan highlands tastes, how will you ever be able to identify it? The same goes for different kinds of fruits, flowers, and nuts. You eat flowers as well? No. No. No one eats flowers, Taka. You just need to smell the flowers. Oh, right. Since you're here, would you like me to brew you a cup of coffee? Let me just take out the coffee beans. And the cups. Is there anything I can do to help? Just sit down, Taka. Let me handle this. Alright. As I sit down and observe Eliza prepare the coffee beans, I can't help but to notice that she doesn't seem to be affected by the news of the assassination at all. Was Alice exaggerating about its impact? Or maybe Eliza didn't hear about the assassination. Anyway, I'm not planning to tell her. There's no reason to dampen the mood. I stare at the table. 6 plates of coffee beans accompany one side of the table, from light color to dark roast. The subtle aromas clash with each other like a 6-way air battle. Aren't we going to brew coffee? We are, and this is the fun part. We are going to smell the coffee grounds for all the coffee beans and decide which one to brew for today. These are all my precious collection of coffee beans I've brought from home. Coffee beans from Maya, Akasumite, Sumatra, and Java. There's even Kona. Kona? Yes, Kona, from the volcanic plantation of the Kingdom of Hawaii, one of the most sought-after coffee beans in the world. Kona coffee beans, aren't they really expensive coffee? Aren't they the really expensive coffee beans I ruined? Osea would be shocked to see a whole plate of them just sitting there. Eliza picked up a cup of coffee grinds and sent it an inch away from her nose. She starts sniffing the coffee grounds with pleasure.
Oh, this one is so fruity. There are floral notes of rose and pea berries as well.
Okay.
The citric aromas are flowing out from these Axumite coffee grounds. There's also chamomile blooming in the foreground.
Axumites. Got it. And also, I'm not sure about coffee, but can you really smell that? Like, is that actually true that you could smell, like, fruits and stuff? Huh, I wonder.
What are you waiting for, Taka? Try smelling them.
Okay, lady. I pick a cup and start sniffing. I close my eyes in search of an aroma I can identify. Where am I? Why am I here? Hey, Taka! Are you here as well? You arrive at the Coffee Dreamscape. The fuck? Coffee Dreamscape? Yes, you can find all the different aromas and flavors here. Do you smell any kinds of fruit here, Taka? I spot a few lemons hanging on the street. I spot a few lemons hanging on the tree to my right. A citrus fruit, like lemon. You're really good. What else can you find? Oh, I see apples. Apples! I see apples hanging on the tree to my left. You're doing well, really well. I'm surprised your senses are developed already. Taka, you really have a great sense of smell. I'm surprised about that myself. If I concentrate, it's not really that hard. Now, which coffee beans do you prefer? How about we try a light roast Akazumite coffee beans? I forgot how she said it. It's from a family estate in Young Grief. We're gonna call it Young Grief. You know why? I don't know how. Young Chief. Whatever. Fuck. The flowery notes will help to smooth your body and make you feel more relaxed. Sounds good. I'll take your recommendation. I watch as Elisa's skillful uses of a coffee plunger to brew a cup of coffee. She's singing a tune as she waits patiently for the coffee to brew. She used no timer, as if she trusts her instincts to find the right time to stop. After a while, she pushes the plunger down and pours me a cup of coffee, bright and clear. The floral notes burst out like a sea of lavender in a field where the horizon spreads toward the skyline. I close my eyes and find myself once again back at the lake, where the sky is vivid blue, with a half-bare mountain reflected on the surface of the motionless lake. Citrus, orange, grapes, and various apples appear to me. I raise my arm. I try to pick out the fruit, only to find myself catching the air. Am I still in a dream after? I'm still in a dream after all. Drinking coffee. Hold on, let me drink water. Drinking coffee is like appreciating a beautiful landscape painting. Do you see all the fruits hanging on the trees, Taka? Yes, I do. I see oranges and grapes and some apples as well. There's also huge varieties of berries. Blueberries, raspberries, limes, and plums. The fruit forest slowly disappears before my eyes. Wait, where did all the oranges and limes go? The best is yet to come. Keep tasting it, and you will soon find new flavors, notes to appreciate. I keep my eyes closed shut while I'm having a second taste of the coffee. The coffee has cooled down. A gentle warmth fills my body. With the dominating floral notes gone, I find myself invaded by a new experience. Bright, mellow notes, subtle but flavorsome, have taken over my senses. I smell spices. They are subtle, but now they are clear to me as ink on paper. A rain of spices appear in the air. Cinnamon, cardamom, and many unknown spices of different shapes drop from the sky. That's when I spot the chocolate river flowing in the background. A distinct cacao taste is now flowing in the pungent air. Pungent, roasty flavors can really add a little spark to the coffee itself, don't they? Sour, sweet, bitter, and the twitchy feeling of spices. Every flavor is having its moment, like a painting, like a symphony. Every sensory organ plays its part. The smell, the touch, the taste, even my memories are stirred up like a lost book. I start to visualize good food and missed company. The taste of exotic fruits and the mellow scent of green, grassy fields. I relax, enjoying this gentle morning with a bit of late summer warmth. I find myself laying back on my chair. I step into a world of calm and peace. I close my eyes, surrendering to the lingering sense of peace that is overwhelming me. I wake up to find the tender voice from outside the window. A few birds are seen staring at fat giant. A few birds are seen sharing a fat giant caterpillar. After that, the air is quiet and calm. I look around to see Eliza sitting beside me, reading a book. She puts it down once she realizes I'm awake. Did you have a good... Fuck, I keep fucking with her voice. I'm like, I don't know what to... Like, I keep forgetting, like, midway what's her voice. Did you sleep... Did you have a good sleep, Taka? You feeling energized now? I feel so full of energy. This is strange. Didn't I just have a cup of coffee? Instead of waking me up, I fell asleep. That's what a good cup of coffee is supposed to do. It relaxes your body and allows your soul to heal. It was listening to your body and decided you didn't need... It was listening to your body and it decided you didn't get enough good sleep. That's why it was begging you to get some sleep. Is that so? Now, would you have another cup of coffee? That sounds great, but I seem to forget something. What time is it? How long did I sleep? Relax, Taka. You only took an hour nap. Just 1 hour? But I think I need to get started with caffeine. After all, that's why I'm here. Oh, sorry. I totally forgot. But certainly that should be the easy part, right? The easy part? What do you mean? If you were able to identify so many flavors of coffee, then the power of caffeine should come naturally within you. Didn't you feel an enormous gust of energy flowing within you when you just had the cup of coffee? I did not feel anything like that. I only felt like sleeping. Maybe you just haven't tried hard enough. Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! I gazed in shock as 2 fireballs appeared from nowhere. But Eliza seems to be having a lot of fun. See? All I have to do is recall the pungent flavors in the cup of coffee I just had, and I can easily perform caffeine. I can also teleport myself. Where did you go, Eliza? Hello.
Boo!
Ooh. You scared me, Eliza. That was really terrifying. You know that? Wow, you're scary. No, I'm just kidding. Ugh! Don't scare me like that. Try it, Taka. Just recall the spices you identified in that cup of coffee. Make it sound like it's so easy. But I really don't feel anything. No spark, no heat at all. Nothing? Not even a sparkle? Oh, wait. Is it because you don't know anything about Victoria's Legacy? Have you not played the game that we've been playing for almost 9 episodes? Victoria's Legacy? What the fuck? You don't know about Victoria's Legacy? Princess Victoria's Great Escape. The story of Black and Floored, Lady Argyle's miracle. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, is that why? Then of course, you can't perform caffeine. To perform caffeine, you must know about Victoria's Legacy. But what exactly is Victoria's Legacy? There are a collection of stories about the founding of the city of Victoria. It's the gift that Princess Victoria left behind to her descendants. First, do you know how the power of caffeine is actually released? Not exactly. The power of caffeine is stored in coffee beans, which contains memories of the earth. When baristas brew a cup of coffee, the memories of the past are transferred through our senses by flavors and aromas released by the coffee. One of the most important memories is the legacy of Princess Victoria. Princess Victoria was the founder of this city. She once sailed across the 7 seas, crossing the Atlantic, reaching the Main Highlands and the Amazons. She sailed past the Cape of Horn towards Reunion Island, reaching the Kusuma Empire, Makoha, and finally the southern seas where Sumatra and Java lies. She has been to nearly every coffee region in the world. Her adventures were witnessed by the earth that she once set foot upon. The earth remembers, and the earth passes that information into the coffee beans. To consume coffee is like receiving a part of our founder's soul and ability, but in order to receive her blessing, we need to know where to look. I need to know where to look? You need to know the story of Princess Victoria's adventures in order to receive her blessing. Without knowing the story, you cannot receive her powers. Picture the main library hall that you just passed by. You probably noticed its main feature, the glass roof, the shelves of books lining up along both sides of the hall. But if I asked you how many spiral staircases there are, would you remember? I wouldn't remember. But now that I've asked you, next time you'll look at the number of spiral staircases in the main hall, because I've directed your attention. What the fuck, man? Sorry. Yeah. The same goes for stories. Once you heard them, you will know where to look for the power of caffeine. I get it now. So, the stories are like the catalyst. Now, all I need to do is find a book and read about the stories. I have a book that just fits that purpose. We both walk to the main library hall. The librarian glances at us for a brief moment, but slowly turns away and says nothing. We walk towards the corner, with a sign hanging on the ceiling that says, History Section. Numerous hardcover books with the color of red oaks populate the shelves. Here it is. This is the book that you should be reading in order to learn more about Victoria's legacy. I read the title of the book, The Caffeine Wars, Victoria's Legacy. This book records the history of the Caffeine Wars, the period where the Victorian Empire was at its pinnacle. Then, one day, came the prophecy of Princess Victoria. The prophecy states that Princess Victoria would one day become Queen of Victoria and create the most powerful city-state in the world. Before the Praetorians were able to capture the princess, she made a daring escape on her Carvel and was pursued for 40 days and 40 nights until they reached the Main Highlands. I flipped through the few pages of the book. It is a picture book with illustration of each page, depicting scenes that happened centuries ago by people who had long left this earth. So, what kind of caffeine powers would you like to perform, Taka? I'm not really sure. What is the best caffeine to use in a coffee duel? If you want to win a coffee duel, there are 4 types of caffeine that cuppers usually perform. First caffeine, an attack-based caffeine that showers your opponent with choking hot flames. The vaporization caffeine is if you convert water into a hot pipe steam, it can throw your opponent off their feet. Protection caffeine, of course, a good one to use as well. It helps to counter any attack-based caffeine and avoids damages to your physically. And the last is teleportation. You can try teleporting yourself behind the opponent and give him a good chop on the head. But teleportation is also the most difficult caffeine to perform. So, I would not advise you to start from there. You might want to try something easier at first, like fire caffeine. Okay, let's see. Okay. I wonder how many of these you can learn, or you can learn all 4 of them. Let's see. Fire is good if you want to attack. Protection caffeine is good as well. Vapor, vapor is And teleportation, I want to learn that, but she's like, learn something easier, like fire. Now the question is, if I choose fire, and I get to maybe get 1 more caffeine power, it's gotta be between these 2. But for now, let's do fire. I want to use fire attack caffeine. Great choice! Fire caffeine is the most powerful attack-based caffeine you can use. It is also the most popular option during a coffee duel. Not to mention, it's quite the spectacular to watch when fireballs of different colors are being thrown at each other. A spectacular I just said it. A spectacular for you? A nightmare for me. Elisa flips the page. On the right is a drawing of 2 women confronting each other. Under the backdrop of several massive pyramids in the background, the whole city seems to be on fire.
Let me read this story to you. I love reading about Princess Victoria and Blancafleur.
Good. I do not want to read this book. If it's like a whole book, I'd rather not voice act for it. I'm sorry. Thanks, Elisa, but I can read it by myself. You dick!
Oh, you don't want me to read it to you?
Fuck you. She has a pretty nice voice. I'm gonna read it. Alright, you can read it to me. Yay!
I'd be happy to.
Damn right. Oh no. Alright guys, let's see if I cannot fuck up. Alright, I'm looking at it again, see if there's hard words. I'm not gonna fuck this up. There once lived a king who ruled the kingdom of Itza in the deep mountain lion jungles. Fuck, I already fucked up. He was a brave and just warrior who was beloved by his people. Surrounding the kingdom of Itza were the sister kingdoms of the Mayanwas and Urza. For centuries they lived in peace and harmony.
Until the Pretorians came.
Pretorians. Alright, Pretorians. I gotta remember that word because I'm gonna fuck it up every time. The Pretorians, with their copper armies that possessed power of caffeine, were invincible against the poorly equipped Mayans. The 3 kingdoms decided to form an alliance, and the king of Itza set off to Maiwa for a meeting among the 3 kings to discuss their plans to drive the Pretorians away. However, the other 2 kings have already decided to surrender to the Pretorians and betray the loyal and just Itzan king. On the 2nd night of the king's arrival, he was captured and killed. An army marched towards Itza and captured his city, enslaving its people. Unknown to the king of Maipan and Exmal, the night before his death, the king of Itza had fallen in love with princess of Maipan, and they had exchanged their hearts. Later, the princess discovered that she was pregnant. The Maiwa were furious and ordered the execution of the princess. Why? But the princess escaped into the mountains, where she gave birth to a girl whose hair reflected a blue hue, like the raindrops that falls upon the morning blooming flowers. She was given the name Blancafleur. While the princess and her child hid in the mountain, the other 2 kingdoms' independence was short-lived. The treacherous Pretorians broke their promise and invaded the other 2 kingdoms. Men were enslaved, villages pillaged, and of course, women were taken as wives. The once glorious Mayan civilization was no more. 15 years later, a ship sailed towards the shores of the Mayans, which are now cacao and coffee plantations. Fuck. Inside the sole ship that landed on the shores was Princess Victoria, who had just made a mad dash escape across the Atlantic Ocean from the pursuing fleets of the Praetorians. The Praetorians were desperate to capture the princess. They had to. The fortune teller of the Praetorian Empire had foreseen the rise of Victoria, which would one day become the powerful city-state of the world. But the only way to stop this from happening was to capture Princess Victoria. They pursued her high up into the Mayan mountain range, where once uninhabited lands were converted into coffee plantations, with slaves working on the fields. When the Praetorians thought they had the princess cornered, they encountered a girl who had hair the color of the blue sky. She was drinking a cup of coffee when her hair starts to glow, with a red hue like raging fire. The Praetorian army felt the grass heat up. Birds dashed up into the sky, desperately trying to escape from the trees, as if they knew what was going to happen. I'm sorry. Fuck, man. Just doing that voice. The shadows of the trees disappeared and made way for the blue flare that engulfed the grass and the weeds. The whole Praetorian forces was swallowed by the raging flames of the fire Caffeine by its creator, Blanca Flor, who had only known hatred and revenge ever since childhood. Her mother had told her the story of her father and of the people's betrayal and the treachery of the Praetorians. Now, finally of age, she was destined to seek her revenge against those who had wronged her and her family. But just when the Praetorian army was being swallowed by raging flames of Blanca Flor, Princess Victoria stepped forward and smacked her in the face. Why, she's saving your life. The fire Caffeine was broken and the Praetorians were able to escape. Blanca Flor was surprised. She had just saved her life, and in return, Princess Victoria had smacked her hard in the face. But she saw tears flowing from Princess Victoria's eyes as she picked up a sole survivor from the fallen Praetorians, the commander of the Praetorian army. The commander was no stranger to Princess Victoria, as she had been chasing her across the Atlantic Ocean for 40 days and 40 nights, and the commander vowed no mercy if she were to capture the princess. Blanca Flor couldn't understand why the princess spared the commander. But Princess Victoria only said, "No one is deserved to die." The Praetorian commander was healed, and one night she escaped and went back to her army. Blanca Flor was furious and raged at Princess Victoria. How could she do that? She is our enemy. She left the group and headed toward the Itza, where the Praetorian army was encamped for the night. That night, Blanca Flor performed fire Caffeine and set the fire upon Itza, surrounding the whole city with a ring of fire, trapping 5,000 Praetorian troops within. Even the commander was trapped, and she knew it was finally her doom. But then, Blanca Flor's pupils dilated, aghast for she was surprised to find Princess Victoria in front of her, jumping into the ring of fire, standing in front of the Praetorian army, confronting Blanca Flor. My voice sounds like a robot right now. Fuck, man. Okay, the story is getting interesting, but shit, I hate that. Fuck. Alright, I'm gonna just read it in my voice for a little bit. Look into your heart, she said, and you'll know you don't want to do this, because no one deserves to die in this war. And what she found was not revenge, but mercy, not hatred, but compassion. She could not bear to bring suffering even to her most hated enemies. She spared their lives and allowed them to escape to the harbor. The Praetorians, together with the battered commander, retreated, promising to never set foot on the Mayan lands again. They kept their promises to this day. What the fuck? So, like, their whole armies from all the 3 kingdoms, they just like, okay guys, let's get the fuck out of here. And like, let them survive. No. If you're an army, you would fight back as soon as like, she's not casting fire. Fucking kill her. I don't know. You know? That was the day that the world came to know about fire caffeine. Fire caffeine is the power of rebirth, the power of containment. Without fire, there is no chance of life. The fire burns away the old and allows the new to flourish, just like how Blancafleur was given another chance to relive her life without rage in her heart. After that night, Blancafleur became faithful. After that night, Blancafleur made the fateful decision to accompany Princess Victoria on her journey, and she named herself Blanca Clearwater to honor her revelation that her heart will become as clear as water. Okay, so that's fucking Constantine's ancestor. Of course, she became the founder of the House of Clearwater. Eliza finished reading and gives a sigh of relief, her looks portraying satisfaction, happy with how the story concluded. My eyes steered towards the picture once again. Now I know what the story is about. The picture, much clearer. So, the person in the middle, standing between the commander and Blancafleur, is Princess Victoria. This is the scene where she was pleading for Blancafleur to stop her massacre against the Praetorians. But wait, something's not right about this picture. Eliza referred to the commander as she, but in the picture, it's a guy. I probably misheard her. Do you see why Princess Victoria is my idol? She's always done the right thing and is so compassionate. I wish I could be like her, always believing that everyone has a good side. I'm sorry. Like, no, I'm gonna choose this one because I don't want to be a dick to her. But war's war, man. Well, not everyone deserves to die. Like, if they surrendered, then like you take them prisoner, right? But people die. I don't know. She's merciful. I'm gonna be nice to her. I agree. She's compassionate. She could have gotten herself killed, but she stuck to her principles and prevented more bloodshed. That's what every ruler in Victoria should aim to become. Always compassionate and prevent war at all costs, so everyone can prosper and live in harmony. But is that even possible? There'll always be someone whose greed and ambition will propel them to start wars for their own gain. Alright, let's get back to the cupping room so I can perform you a cup of Mayan coffee. Then we can see how you perform your fire caffeine. Anything like a spark on your fist. No, anything like a spark on your fist tried would be consider a success. We arrive at the cupping room. Alright, so we should select a coffee bean that gives out a strong and penetrating effect towards your palate. I watch as Eliza skillfully prepare a cup brew with a coffee plunger that was previously standing on the shelf. I'll have a cup of coffee with you as well, so we can both do a mock coffee duel. A mock coffee duel? Now? In this room? I look around the room. Isn't it a bit dangerous with all the wooden furniture around? It's fine. I'll be very careful and only direct my flames towards you. That doesn't sound comforting at all. Eliza pours herself a cup of coffee and starts tilting the rim of the coffee towards her mouth. Are you ready, Taka? This is going to be exciting. How come I feel like the atmosphere in this room is changing? This is beginning to feel like a real coffee duel. What have I gotten myself into? What? Wait, I haven't even touched my coffee yet. You're so slow, Taka. In a real coffee duel, your opponent would have already hurled a fireball towards you. Just as when I'm about to complain, I see blue flames emerging from her sides. She didn't even lift up her arms. Where did these flames come from? Blue flames start circling around her body, her eyes concentrated on me. Her smile gone, she looks at me, dead serious. Alright, give me a second. I take a sip of coffee. I try hard to concentrate that stagnant, pungent sensation that wobbled behind the fruitfulness and bitter cover. Oh, I can feel the pressure. Trying to drink coffee under pressure is so stressful. But this is actually good coffee. How come I never brewed such a coffee with a coffee plunger? Is it because of the coffee beans? Enough of this. I need to concentrate on the coffee. Like a volcanic eruption, the touch of cinnamon lingers at the back, and I know that was enough for fire caffeine to take effect. Not bad. I can really sense what it means to appreciate a good cup of pour over coffee now. I start directing my attention towards my palms, but nothing happens. Nothing. I don't feel any heat, not even a spark at all. You've taken your cup of coffee, so I guess you're ready? Oh, she's gonna kill me. Eliza? We're not doing this for real, are we? I can feel the heat just by standing here. Of course this is for real. How will you be able to fulfill your potential if I don't treat you seriously? The fireballs are now reaching the ceiling, rotating around Eliza like a protecting charm. I feel the room shaking and trembling as the fireballs grow larger and larger. Ready? I'm going to shoot the fireballs at you now! 3. Hurry up, Taka. Raise those arms and produce a fireball. 2. I raise my arms and start imagining myself plunging all my energy toward my palms, but all I can imagine is panic. 1. I give out a huge shriek as I push my arms towards, imagining a huge fireball in front of me, ready to counter Eliza's merciless attack. But there was nothing. Fire! The fireball starts screaming towards me, and I give out a loud cry. My mind goes blank for a moment. I cannot think properly. Frightened takes a hold of me. It takes a while for me to calm down. Taka, are you alright? Fuck you, throw fire at me, what the fuck? I open my eyes to find myself in the same room as before. My whole body is intact, and Eliza looks at me in concern. Did it not work? Where did the fireballs go? Did you really think I was going to shoot a fireball at you? I put it off at the very last minute. It wouldn't burn the whole room down. It wouldn't have burnt the whole room down, and that would. Fuck, sorry, I just can't read right now. Ugh, fuck. It would have burnt down the whole room down, and that would have angered the librarian. But what about you? Did you feel any heat towards your palms? An itchy feeling, a spark, anything that suggested the power of caffeine had run through your body? No, nothing at all. That's strange. I was certain you could have at least produced a spark. Perhaps I was too hard on you. I should have let you do it alone first. No. No? Keep throwing fireballs at me. We'll do it your way. Alright. For the next few hours, we keep practicing. I keep trying and trying, but still, I couldn't perform anything close to caffeine. Very soon, my whole body is hammered. All the energy that I felt when I had my first cup of coffee is gone. But I still want to try again. Finally, after a few hours.
I don't understand. How come you can't perform caffeine?
Because I was never born.
You already heard the story. You also correctly identified the flavors in your cup of coffee.
Maybe it's because I'm brown.
Perhaps there's still something missing.
What could it be? What's missing?
I'm not really sure, Taka.
She's like looking at me like, he's defected. We gotta put him down. Someone give me the shotgun. We gotta put him down like old Yeller. I don't like the sound of that. If Eliza doesn't know, then probably no one else would know.
Perhaps we should call it a day.
Fuck. But, I don't have time. If I don't learn how to perform caffeine, then I won't be able to pass the barista test. If I can't pass the barista test, then Taka Coffee House will close down. And Alice.
I'm sorry, Taka.
I'm sorry. I couldn't have let it out on you. It's not your fault.
No, Taka. I feel responsible. It makes me feel bad if I can't help you. Let me help you. I'll be here every day for the next few weeks. We will find a solution together.
Together?
Yes, together. We will find out how you can perform caffeine. I am not giving up until you can do so. I'll ask around and see if there's anything we can do. Please, come again.
I walk slowly back to the coffee house. My footsteps are heavy, and my head is down. I feel so tired, not physically, but mentally. The stress of not being able to perform caffeine is starting to sink in. But I can't give up. Not just because I want to continue to see my name on the coffee house. Not just because I want to make sure Alice still has a pastry shop which she can call home. It's also because Eliza wants me to succeed. Her urgency is so genuine. At this moment, I feel that I can't let her down. Not after how much effort she had put into helping me. Where should I head next? Alrighty. Well, we're gonna end it there. But before we leave, hit the bell notification, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Alright then. I hope you enjoy the series. Like, this is not as popular as my other one, like Denver Enigma, but you know what? It's the one I like. Even like doing those fucking voices, even though I hate it so much where it's like I do the voices then like, oh, no, I'm talking. I hate that, but other than that, I really enjoy this game. I don't know. So, yeah. And these videos are really long. They are longer than Denver Enigma. But fuck it, you know what I mean? We're having fun, right? You, me, probably 0 viewers, but it's alright. Alright then. Bye bye.